Hey everyone, welcome to Hopeful Wisdom. Hope you're having a great Sunday night. So, this episode is going to be about being single. And, you know, I'm going to talk about some things that have come up in sessions in my intuitive business and also have come up in my own personal life in reference to being single. And I spend so much time talking about, things and we need to do to meet the proper person. But tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about something near and dear to my heart that has come up in session that I think a few people, could be weighing on a lot of people's heart. And that's being tired of being single. When you've come to a place, and it kind of what I've done, you know, I've also hit that plateau where I am just sick and tired of being single. And it's come to a point where I said, okay, I'm going to take a personal inventory of all of the things I am. Um, you know, Basically, what I've decided to start doing in my life, and hopefully that will help inspire others who are kind of right there with me with just being like, so fucking done with being alone. It gets to you, and it gets to the point where it's like you're talking to God and you're praying and you're doing everything, and we're all doing the best we can. And I've in this frustration and in this journey, this journey of my life, and hitting that wall and having that frustration of being so sick and tired of being single. I'm going to share with you some epiphanies that I've, discovered recently, and some things that I've been doing to bring a lot of joy to my life. And, one of the things I used to think about, and this has totally been a change in my perspective, is I would have all of this free time that I could say in the evening, rather, and say, if I were married, I could be doing this, I could be doing this, that, and the third. And I've decided to take that free time and fill it with something that brings me joy, or helps me grow in my career, helps me grow in in myself. And I've noticed that by taking an interest in who I am, and most importantly, the type of person that I hope to attract one day, I realized that I had a lot to do within myself before I'm ever going to be ready to have this person. But it was coming to that realization, and I had to get sick and tired of being single. And I think that a lot of us are sick and tired of being single. And it's difficult to date, especially, with half the country, with half the world on lockdown. But like I said, I'm gonna stay away from the topic. I'm gonna stay away from the topic tonight of how to find someone to date, and more talk about, well, what am I doing to deal with how I feel? And I started this journey in mid-September when I ended my most recent relationship. And I mean, with someone who just lied to me constantly. It felt like being married to my ex-husband. It was just ridiculous. And, being an intuitively inclined person, being around someone who's lying, oh my gosh, the energy shifting all over the place. It was a fucking nightmare, okay? And when this ended, I said, okay, it's back to being single again. Okay. There's no one to talk about my day with. Um, Back to being alone. And I made a mental list of, well, what do I want in a spouse? what am I looking for? And I made this list in my head and I said to myself, you know, am I today the type of person, especially I was a 14-year matchmaker, okay? So I had to ask myself the very serious question, am I the type of person today that this person wants to marry? And the answer was no. I said, okay. I got serious about my prayer and I just said, Hashem, show me which areas of what do I need to do to start improving myself and to start working on the areas that I actually need work. And I saw myself, I'm not even kidding you, you guys, I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I saw myself at the gym. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I've got to go back to losing weight the old fashioned way. But I took into consideration, you know, I'm not thrilled with my size. It does affect how I feel about myself. And I said, you know what? I want to overcome this hurdle so that when the right person does come into my life, I am projecting my best face forward and feeling the best about myself. And I've had to, you know, I I realized when I got out of that relationship in September that so many of my personal professional goals had fallen by the wayside. Um, the first thing I did was threw myself into my real estate career and I started working on professional goals. And Baruch Hashem, I've been meeting those goals because I decided, you know, the person that I'm looking to marry is going to want someone who has their life together, is going to want someone who is meeting their professional goals, meeting their personal goals. And I realized that I was not meeting my personal goals or my professional goals. I had to completely take the space of my life and say, okay, I will succeed and I will become the person that I need to be so that, please God, one day, should the right person come, I'm going to be ready to participate in that relationship. We all get to the point where we're fucking sick and tired of being single. But we have to take into consideration we are being given an opportunity, believe it or not, to grow. And if you don't know what area of you need to grow, sit outside, sit down and have conversations every single day with God. I promise you, He will show you the way. God will show you the way. When we're at the point where I have done everything I can think to do to try to find my soulmate. I've literally searched the world. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not picky. I'm not hard to deal with. I'm not hard to get along with. I've gone on hundreds of dates. I mean, maybe not hundreds, but my God, what feels like hundreds of dates. I can tell you that much. Where you just have to get to the point and say, okay, you know what? Maybe my life and this part of my journey, you know, God knows you're alone. And we have to ask ourselves if everything that God does is for our very best, we have to take into consideration that even on the worst day of your life, whatever those feelings are, it is the best possible outcome for you in that particular situation. And when I start taking into consideration that God knows how many hairs I have on my head, how many times I've ever blinked my eyes, when you start, God obviously knows my pain and obviously knows that I want to find the right person, as do we all. You know, I'm sharing a little bit about myself in this particular episode because so many people are feeling this way, that they've just done everything they can to try to find the right person. You know, I'm a part of all of the Facebook groups, almost all the websites. I stopped paying for the websites, by the way. I stopped paying for them. I said, this is going to be a time for me to completely focus on myself, on my career, on my family, on myself spiritually and personally, to make a transformation into being the type of person that please God one day when the right person does come along, that marriage will be able, that relationship will be able to stick and lead to a marriage. Um, I had a situation happen back in March where if I was ever going to settle for somebody, I would have settled for this man. One of the kindest, most wonderful people I've ever gone out with. And in my heart, just wasn't there. Something I needed to feel. And it it just wasn't there. And you know, it gets frustrating because I I speak to a lot of people in my intuitive business. It's it's very hard when you get to the point where you're just so done with being single. And I totally get it because I'm right there with you. I have taken, I've just said to myself, you know, God knows I'm single. God knows what I'm looking for. And maybe God is putting me in a position where I have to grow so high that I'm going to meet we always, what if your soulmate is here and you're over here and you just have to climb? You have to look at it like that. Maybe you haven't had the right, business meeting, the right opportunity. When you're in constant growth of yourself, like I have taken a complete back seat to dating. I'm not paying for the websites anymore. Listen, if someone comes to me and says, I want to set you up with somebody, I'll look into it. I'll look into it 100%. I'm not going to shut doors. I'm saying I am taking this time to grow myself as an individual rather than try to find a relationship. And when it's really not happening, sometimes we just have to take a step back and say, okay, it's time to work on me. And that's where I'm at right now. And if you're and here's the thing. Where I'm at right now, not everybody needs to be. We're all in different places of our person, in different stages of our personal growth. Maybe for me, this is the right choice. But I'm saying if it is the right choice for you, don't be afraid to do it. And don't be afraid to take a deep look inside yourself and say, okay, what is it about myself that I need to fix? Like, I am just in fits over my weight. I'm just in fits over it. And I realized something. Okay, it's time for me to kick that weight down so I can start feeling like myself again because I feel like I'm not putting my best face forward. I had to really become very serious about that. And I want to say something about self-love, okay? I've got a lot of self-love. I've got a lot of self-love. I'm a big advocate of love yourself before you can love others. You can love yourself and still feel, while loving yourself, know that you have areas to grow. Like for me to say, I know something is standing in my way of my own happiness is my weight, that doesn't take away from my self love. That's saying, because I love myself, I'm going to take this issue very seriously and busy my life with things that are, I feel like I'm moving into a very selfish season of my life. My career is going very well. My show is going very well. We've got some absolutely awesome guests coming. Um, it's going to be a lot of changes going on with Hopeful Wisdom. There's been a company merger. I'm taking on some awesome projects that I'm going to talk about. There is a lot coming up in 2021. And I just figured this is the time that I'm going to grow my business. I'm going to grow myself personally and professionally. That's all there is to it. If I'm tired of being single, then maybe I should be tired of my situation that's leaving me single. Think about it like that. Maybe it's time for you to grow as a person, you know, so you're able to find somebody. Guys, I gave myself time for 3 years to ponder. I've given myself time for 3 years to find somebody. And I've just come to the realization that I am going to focus on me. And if you come to that realization, it's okay. No, it doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're switching your focus and your priority. And it took me a minute to get here. Um, I talk to women almost every day, almost in every session. Most of my clientele just happens to be women. And all of us have said, I've said it myself, I can't believe at this stage of my life I'm still single. And instead of saying I can't believe it, think about I have an opportunity at this stage of my life to grow to my highest possible person. I know it's going to happen, and you have to remain positive, and I know it's going to be good. And like I said, this particular episode, I'm going to stay away from finding someone. Let it be about finding, this episode is about me finding myself and sharing with you tips, the things that have worked for me. Um, I feel like I'm just a work in progress right now. It's not really my time to get married. And I thought about all of the things I want to do. Realistically, the projects that I'm working on right now, I've narrowed it down to three. I want these things more than I want to be married. Ha. And I came to the realization I must do these things. And maybe this is God giving me the time to do these things rather than occupy my time with a relationship, especially one that doesn't service me. Um, I feel like we all get to that place where we're tired of being single and we're tired of looking for it. And I feel like you guys, with everything in my heart, I have searched in world to find my soulmate, and it just hasn't happened yet. And you think about where's God in all this, right? God knows your pain. God knows. God knows you're single. God knows exactly where your soulmate is. And God is giving all of us every day that we're single an opportunity to grow, to find the soulmate relationships. Listen, how many of us know people in miserable fucking marriages? I can honestly say, thank God, I don't know many. I don't know many people in miserable marriages. But I can tell you, after matchmaking for 14 years and having been married twice myself, I can tell you a thing about miserable marriage. When you're looking for your soulmate, not anybody will do. You're looking for someone specific, and you're looking for the best possible fit for you. This is not an easy task. And sometimes it's about projecting. Like, I sat down in meditation and actually said during his Hizbut, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, show me where I need to grow. And I see myself at the gym. Like, God show me where I need to grow. And I see myself at the gym. I'm going to the gym. If that's what I need to do to grow, then that's what I need to do to grow. I feel like we've got to come to a place where, especially, it doesn't just frustrate you anymore. Take this time that you are still single and be productive with it. Fix yourself. Fix whatever's broken. Talk about things with your therapist. If you don't have a therapist, think about getting one. I mean, there's always room left to grow. And sometimes your journey just requires more time to do that, to grow. When you look at it as a growth opportunity rather than being, however being single feels, okay? And there are times like, listen, I'm a single mother of twins. Whenever there's a thing at the school, I'm one of like the only single parents. Okay. And it's even the other single parents, there's a mom and a dad. My ex husband lives in California. So I am really doing this on my own. And I think to myself, why couldn't I have been? We can't get into why. We can't get into why. Like I have gone into a room where I am literally the only single parent. And I think to myself, you know, I why? I can't get into why. God is putting you in a position that is what is best for you. It doesn't matter, you know, I know that by being single where I am today, this is the best place that I should be in. Why? Because God put me. And I think that it's accepting what's best and accepting that there's maybe more things in life, in your life, in my life, that are more important. Like I've recently decided that my career is going to be more important. I mean, aside from my family, obviously, but more important than anything else. Um, there's so much going on, and I just made the decision that a relationship can wait. Or if it's the right relationship, I trust that it will find me, and that will work when it's supposed to. Believe me, you're never going to have to negotiate with your soulmate whether or not you love each other. It's just going to make sense. I'm not saying that there's not going to be friction. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be human error, but I'm saying it's a different kind of relationship. A soulmate relationship is a different kind of love. It's a higher kind of love. And it's the type of love that people who are very self-aware are able to nurture the best. And if you're single, maybe take it as an opportunity to grow in whatever area of your life that you feel you need to grow. It doesn't have to be a punishment. And look at it like this: God knows your pain. Only God can give you, only God knows why this, that, the third, why this, why in this lifetime, why is this person single? Only God knows that. Only God knows that. But what we can do is pray for that understanding and take every opportunity to better ourselves that comes our way and find the joy in your life. And if there is no joy to find, fucking create that joy. Create it. If you have nothing to do, create something to do. In real estate, you know how many days I create work? Oh gosh. I wouldn't make a paycheck if I didn't create work every day. I'm serious. When we create work and fill ourselves with opportunities to grow, do something better. If you wanted to start painting, exercise, start a podcast, now is the time to do it. There's nothing standing in your way. And you have no idea what doors, what greater doors will open to that will lead to whatever people you're supposed to meet. How do you know that you don't have a best friend down the line that's her brother will be your soulmate? You don't know. Take the risks, do the things. Whatever you do, and I am just as tired of being single as everyone else, don't just sit there and rot. Grow, thrive, build, and achieve while you are single. If you want to build an empire, whatever that empire is, build it. Every single day I get on the phone and create work in real estate. Every single day. Every day. Whatever you're doing, don't stop going. Don't stop moving. Don't stop building. Don't stop achieving. Even when you're tired of being single, take that as an opportunity to better your situation and better yourself. I'm tired of being single. I'm tired of it. I have to build and grow and create every day because otherwise I'm sitting stagnant. It would be nice to find somebody, but you have to also prepare yourself because you don't know how much longer or we don't know. We don't know how much longer it's going to go on. It's time to live your life. And I'm saying this to myself, but I'm saying it to a lot of people that are also in a mindset that I was in, waiting for the person to come. Live your life. Do, build, create, grow. Every single day I create work. And I've created more work. I've been able to meet every single real estate goal. Every single one. It's time to take these feelings and put them at a place where they service you. And I know how it feels. We have to remember that even on our worst day of life, God knows where we're at, and we're oftentimes getting what was best for our entire situation. And I know how it feels to go to the school, and the school, well, not so much during COVID, but whenever the kids will have a concert at school, being the only, if not the only single mom with no dad present. My ex-husband lives in California. It's tough. And having no one to share the ups and downs of parenting with. But God is aware that I'm going through that. And for whatever reason, if God is allowing me to go through this, and this, I have to accept that this is the best possible situation for me at this time in this situation. And when you start accepting that, everything is an opportunity to grow bigger and better every single day. And I hope that brings some peace and some clarity and some understanding to those who are also just effing tired of being single. Take that frustration and build with it. That is what I've chosen to do. Um, I know how hard it is. And I know that it feels like sometimes there's no hope. There is. And the right person is out there. But you have no idea what you need to be busy living, because if you're not, you could miss the opportunity or prolong that opportunity that you're supposed to meet someone. And I just hope that this gives some inspiration. Back in September, I had to pick up the pieces of my broken heart and accept it, break up with someone that I liked who was just a liar. Fucking difficult, right? So fucked up. If his lies were the truth, I would have married him. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous situation. But I decided I never want to find myself in that situation again. It was time for growth. And that growth has been, there's a reason they're called growing pains. And I lost my mother in the middle of this. Sometimes you just have to be as tough as nails. Seriously. And say, if this is what God wants from me, then I'm going to take this opportunity and run to the moon with it. I narrowed it down to 3 projects that make sense, that I'm able to succeed doing. And every day create work. Every day create. If you wanted to do a podcast, paint, whatever, do it. There's nothing standing in your way, especially if you're single and you're tired of being single. And that time you take about thinking about being single, do something productive with that time. And eventually the right person's going to come. That's just how that goes. But sometimes it's not the right time. And I'm talking to the people like me that it's just not the right time right now. That's okay. It doesn't mean you don't love yourself. It doesn't mean you've given up hope. It just means that it's time to redirect focus and to love yourself differently. And I wish you guys would understand in the 14 years of setting people up, I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to people that are just hit a wall. Whenever we hit a wall, it's time to climb that wall and to kick it down. And I mean, I merged a business. You guys, I took an idea that people thought was nuts, and I'm going to make a bigger deal out of it. But I've done something truly awesome during this time that I've decided to grow. I've compiled a team of some of the most gifted people in the world to work on bigger projects with me. And this is never something I could have done if I was in the wrong relationship, which I was, or moping about being single. Um, I've met every single real estate goal, creating work, kicking ass and taking names. But I had to make the decision. I was done with worrying about where my soulmate was coming from. I'm still going to put towards the effort, but like I'm not going to pay for the dating sites. I'm not going to pay for OkCupid. Well, I'm not. Well, they're not on OkCupid because there's really not a lot of Jews there. But I'm not going to pay for JSwipe or JDate or any. Oh, like saw you at Sinai. I didn't see anybody at Sinai. Oh my God. But I changed my focus, and I hope that that brings some inspiration. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But change your focus. If you've hit a wall like me where you're just fucking tired of being single, do something else that fills your life with so much joy. The right person is going to come. Maybe there's an emotion you need to feel that you just haven't felt yet. Maybe there's a thing you need to do. Maybe there's a connection you need to have. Maybe there's a person you need to meet. You never know. That's why you have to keep living, and we have to keep thriving and growing and keep praying. It gets better, even when it's hard. And you're not alone. And I hope that I could bring just some joy or some inspiration. If that's, yeah, if I could bring just a little bit of inspiration to someone who's struggling with that same tiredness of being single, is that this is what we can do with those tired feelings, is grow something amazing. And that's what I encourage all of you to do. Please stay tuned. This season of Hopeful Wisdom is going to be absolutely amazing. We've got topics on crystals. We've got some interesting people. A lot of cool shit coming up. A lot of comedians are going to be talking about their feelings. Just a lot of really awesome stuff coming. So stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe. And God bless. And keep busy. Keep moving. Peace out. And I love you.